large number of people who told us that they would like to see things like a STEM academy or some sort of certificate or journeyman program. So a student can come out of high school with some type of certificate and end up being certified to get a job. Something that qualifies them for something better than coming out of the high school diploma and going and working at McDonald's. Not that I knock McDonald's, I like McDonald's too. But they're looking for something even better. Other things looked at, more AP offerings, more career technical training. Once again, more of an enriched class or course offerings, and that's what they're looking for. Something else we looked at, 85% of the people who were surveyed said that they would be in favor of a bond issue to improve or upgrade our facilities. And we said, wow, that's a big thing there for us. So absolutely, 85% saying that we improve and upgrade our facilities. One thing that's not on here that we found was about 56% of the people said that they would be in favor of a bond issue to build a new building. We looked at 56% and said, well, they may not be enough to pass. Because though 56% of the people who surveyed said they would be in favor of it, what would really happen when we put the vote out there? How about those people that didn't survey, that didn't answer the survey, how many more of them will come out and vote no? But 85% tells us, even if we get a lot of no voters come out, we might still win that one. Another thing we looked at is find the right size for the school district. And what I mean by that is there is a significant difference to what this district was like when you go back 20 or 30 years ago, when we had 18,000 students in the district, 20,000 students in the district, to what we have now, which is under 7,000 students in the district. Quite a significant difference. The problem is that we need to change the district to make it right size for the students which we have. Things we took in consideration, given all that information. Next. And we considered just about everything. We talked about one high school and one middle school as a possibility. We talked about a high school campus and 2 middle schools. And as you see, we talked about a high school campus and 2 middle schools. And we went through a dozen different scenarios. We even looked at eliminating an elementary. We looked at closing 6th grade academy. We even looked at the possibility of outsourcing and maintenance. We looked at having a STEM or a STEAM academy. We looked at the formation of large elementaries. We looked at several different things, expanding Career Center, TVLA. And we looked at ways to enrich our curriculum and ways in which to change the district to best serve our students. So we looked at several different things. There's all kinds of considerations which we looked at. And this is only an example of very few. In fact, for the first half of our meetings, we talked about possibilities and possibilities and more possibilities. So this is just a small example of all the things we looked at. We spent a lot of time looking at every single possibility. So with that, with all the stuff that was given, with all the possibilities that we looked at, this is the recommendation which we came up with that we believe best serves this district. Item number 1, go to a 6-period day for the high school. That seems simple, but right now, we have a 5-period day. And if you look at the core classes that students take each day, math, science, English, social studies, that only leaves 1 left for an elective. We figure that's not enough. People want more of an enriched curriculum, the possibility for students to take more classes than just the 4 core. How do we do that? We put in another class period. We also said that we would like to see math, science, English, and social studies, those core classes, be full year classes. Now some of them are like that already, and that's usually the math and the English. The science and social studies often get shortchanged. We would like to see all 4 cores be year-long classes. We also looked at, because we're going to a 6-period day, we'd have to change the graduation requirements. Right now it's 26.5 credits to graduate. We said we'd move it up to 81.5.
31.
I'm sorry, 81. You'll be here forever. 31.5. This is what happens when we're your classes. You guys think that's good. No. 31.5 credits, which is and here's why I was thinking 80, because it's an 88% ratio between the amount of credits offered and the amount of credits you have to graduate. And we came up with that ratio because currently with 26.5 credits, that's 88% of what a student can take in high school to graduate. Using that same ratio, we came to 31.5 credits. So once again, it's a lot of math just to say we're trying to keep everything even when we go to a 6-hour day as what we have in a 5-hour day. Other recommendations. To adjust elementary attendance boundaries, to clean up these boundaries and maximize the attendance capacity of each building. What I mean by that is there are situations in which an elementary student, you live in a neighborhood, look across the road or maybe just a couple blocks down and to be seen elementary, but get bused someplace else. We thought that was kind of crazy. So what we talked about is building what we call neighborhood elementaries. If there's an elementary in your neighborhood, that's where your student goes to school. These little neighborhood elementaries, and try to build these attendance boundaries around these neighborhood elementaries. We thought that helped to build a sense of community, and also helps to alleviate a lot of transportation costs at the same time. We talked about next recommendation is closing the 6th grade academy and moving the 6th grade to the middle schools. Based on the notion that our middle schools have sufficient space to accommodate 6, 7, 8, based on the notion that most of the middle schools in our league in the downriver area are 6, 7, 8, and the fact that transportation can help to be alleviated by not having all individuals, all 6th graders go to the 6th grade academy. We said it would be practical to move the 6th grade academy into the middle school, have 6, 7, 8 middle school. Oh, I wasn't done with that one yet. Okay, now. The other aspect is we would have the 6th graders would go into which middle school they go to be based on their attendance area. We talked about moving pupil accounting and special education to the bottom floor of the board annex. Why would we want to do that? Well, right now, if you're a new person coming into our district, you got to go over to the board annex. You got to go all the way upstairs. You have to register. And if you have a special needs student, you got to go all the way to the Truman. You have to register. And then you got to go find your school. We figured it would be much more user-friendly for the community to have a one-stop shop. And it's on the bottom floor, so we don't have to have people trying to make their way upstairs. To walk into the board annex, have pupil accounting, have special ed, all right there. They register, they talk to special ed people, they go to their building, go to the school. And we thought that would be much more of a user-friendly. This also gives us the opportunity to expand the Career Center, to leave some open rooms, and TVLA, which we think is an important thing for the future, to expand those two programs. Go back on this one. Sorry. The other thing we talked about is to take the school of choice, and right now the way school of choice is operated is that we have one department handle the in-school school of choice and another department that handles the out-of-district school of choice. We thought it would be much better of a situation if one department, one person, handled all school of choice. So that individual will be able to have a better idea as to the amount of students in that building and in those classrooms. So we don't overload a classroom, we don't overload a building, and in order to do that, we need one person to keep an eye on those numbers. And we thought the best person to do that would be the director of pupil accounting. So we wanted to move all school of choice into one person's position, and that person kind of be the gatekeeper as to how many kids we have in each building, which would also lead to how many kids we have in each classroom, because we don't want to overload classrooms. Now, And the last one we have for phase one, which is the recommendations for next year, is the formation of a single Taylor High School. Now this high school we would talk about be rebranded, relabeled, and be complete with a new school song, new school colors, and a new school mascot. And to help prepare for this new high school, this new Taylor school, we thought about having all the ninth graders, both those who are coming from the middle school and those who will continue to be ninth graders next year because they didn't make it out of ninth grade, all go to the receiving of the new, end up being the new Taylor High School next year, 2016-2017 school year. That would be our recommendation, what we call phase one, which is for next year. Now the year after that,